First, you can see Daemon Targaryen with a torch, walking through the Dragonglass cave of Dragonstone. With Ramin Djawadi's music in the background, we then hear Daemon Targaryen pronouncing ominous words. Gods, kings, fire and blood. Dreams did not make us kings, dragons did. Referring to Aegon the Conqueror's dream to conquer the Seven Kingdoms, as well as about Dany's dream to escape Valyria. As he speaks, you see a succession of quick shots. Daemon, an older version of Rhaenyra Targaryen on Driftmark shore. These two, uncle and niece, who eventually become husband and wife, are the main characters in the series. Next is Aegon the Conqueror's dragon Balerion the Black Dread Skull. The dragon recently died of old age, with King Viserys himself being his last rider. This is his resting place. Then you see a shot of the hand of the king. It's Aurora Hightower. Besides being hand to King Viserys, he is also the father of the king's wife, Queen Alicent Hightower, who we later see with a dagger. It's the very same dagger that Arya used to kill the Night King 200 years after. As you can see, Alicent is in distress, caused by this very same dagger that was used by Rhaenyra's child against Alicent's child. When Prince Aemond Targaryen attempted to ride Vhagar, one of House Targaryen's dragons, he was confronted by Rhaenyra's children. Aemond broke the nose of 5-year-old Luke, who eventually took out Aemond's eye with his dagger. And here's his mother Alicent demanding justice from King Viserys, demanding an eye for an eye. This puts King Viserys in a hard spot, as Aemond is his son, but Lucerys is his grandson. Behind Alicent, you can see two members of the Kingsguard, one being Sir Harold Westerling and the other being Sir Criston Cole, he himself becoming major Alicent supporter after falling off with Princess Rhaenyra. Speaking of the King Viserys, here you have a shot of him sitting on the Iron Throne with a Targaryen ring on his finger, as he holds Blackfire, one of two of House Targaryen's ancestral Valyrian steel swords. If you look closely, you'll notice that he's also equipped with a Valyrian steel dagger, the same dagger we just saw in Alicent's hand. Before it ended up in Alicent's hand, King Viserys gave it to his grandson Lucerys as a gift, who then attacked his son with it. Back to the sword. Blackfire is a sword wielded by Aegon the Conqueror, which was passed down from king to king. And finally you see it in its full glory. It's got a crossguard fashioned as a pair of dragon heads with dragon wings. At its pommel you can see a 7-pointed star, a decoration that did not exist when Aegon the Conqueror wielded it, but was added by King Jaehaerys, the symbol of the king being the defender of the faith. There you can also see young Rhaenyra, who is appointed by her father to be his heir, followed by a shot of older Rhaenyra, who is accompanied by Daemon Targaryen. This time she is not at King's Landing where she used to be when she was younger. She is now at Driftmark, the seat of House Velaryon, attending the funeral of Daemon's second wife. Both of them are visibly sad, as it was Daemon's wife and Rhaenyra's good friend. Then you see a fight scene that takes place earlier in the story, between Daemon and Criston Cole, giving you the first look at Targaryen armor, helmet, shield, as well as Dark Sister, a famous sword of House Targaryen once wielded by Aegon the Conqueror's sister Visenya. The Dark Sister has the crossguard fashioned as a pair of dragon wings, with a head being at the base of the blade. Daemon wears the dragon helm, the same one Rhaegar wore at the Trident when he fought Robert Baratheon. The armor is also the same, except Rhaegar had rubies attached to it. His opponent Criston Cole is an exceptionally skilled warrior, himself along with Daemon being the best warriors of this time, and Criston is particularly skilled with his Morning Star, which you can see here as well. It's the tourney for King Viserys I's accession, where in the final fight Sir Criston Cole fights his final opponent Prince Daemon Targaryen, and actually wins by knocking aside Daemon's Dark Sister with his Morning Star. He then gives the victor's laurel to young Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen. Criston subsequently becomes a favorite at court and joins the Kingsguard. Next up is Corlys Velaryon, known as the Sea Snake, a fabled Lord of the Tides, master of Driftmark, and the head of House Velaryon who comes from the old Valyria, much like Targaryens. He is one of Rhaenyra's supporters and a good friend of Daemon, having one child married to Rhaenyra, and the other to Daemon. He himself is the husband of Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, and here you see a shot of the Velaryon family entering the Iron Throne room, looking rich and powerful as they truly are. On the left is Sea Snake's nephew, Sir Vaymond. The older lady is his wife, Rhaenys Targaryen, known as the Queen That Never Was. And the other two are his children, Laenor and Laena. You can also see more of Velaryons in the background. They are arriving here because the Sea Snake's son Laenor is being married to the king's daughter Rhaenyra, and this is their wedding feast. You can see both Targaryen and Velaryon flags hanging behind them, with all the important lords and ladies attending the feast. To avoid confusion, Rhaenys has silver hair instead of black, which she has in the books, indicating she has a Valyrian look and is a Targaryen, while Mysaria has black hair instead of white, as she does in the books, making it clear she's not of Valyrian descent. She's a dancer from Lys who became the paramour of Prince Daemon Targaryen, and the unofficial mistress of Whisperers to Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, during the Dance of the Dragons. Then we have another tourney where you can see all sorts of banners including House Stark and House Lannister. This is a great tourney on the 5th anniversary of King Viserys I and Queen Alicent's marriage at King's Landing. The reason you see Tarly banners on the wall is because Sir Criston Cole is fighting a Tarly in this round. It's during the opening feast on this very same tourney that Queen Alicent wore a green gown, while Princess Rhaenyra dressed in the red and black of House Targaryen. Note was taken, and thereafter it became the custom to refer to greens and blacks, when talking of the Queen's party and the party of the princess respectively. Prince Daemon Targaryen returns to King's Landing as king during this tourney from his wars at the Stepstones, to serve fealty to his brother, King Viserys I Targaryen. This little shot is of Sir Criston Cole unhorsing Tarly. Then you have another fighting scene, this time between the Sea Snake's son Laenor and Laenor's friend and lover Sir Corral Corey, which will not go well to say at least. Young Rhaenyra is then visiting her father King Viserys, where you see a new version of the Iron Throne. It's not exactly all new as the chair itself remains the same, but it's surrounded by new swords, making it look a little bit closer to what the Iron Throne looks in the books, in order to stay true to the look the Iron Throne had in Game of Thrones, but also get a little closer to the look the Iron Throne has in the books. It's been decided to add the swords around the throne, thus making it a bit closer to the books. The swords that were once wielded against Aegon the Conqueror are now defending the Targaryen kings on the throne. This is where we come to an end. But before we end it, I would just like to reveal to you that the filming of Season 1 is still ongoing, and will be finished next month, when it enters post-production and soon after airs on HBO. All of this and more you will see in 2022 on HBO. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace!